Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late tonight. This is Tanya Barbie. I am still a rose in spite of it all. No matter what issues I face, no matter how bad I may feel from time to time, I still know that I am that rose, and I hope you feel the same way. I've had some interesting calls this week about low self esteem. Many of us have been brought up by a parent or another relative, a sibling perhaps, or a best friend, a grandparent, a teacher, someone close to you may have said something very mean to you. And it resonated to the point where it has affected you as a young adult or an older adult. And I had a friend call me and ask me to talk to someone about self-esteem issues. And I believe we all have faced it from time to time, some more than others. But I was reading some articles on low self-esteem. And one that got my attention the most was from M. Scott Peck. Now, this quote is from M. Scott Peck, but the article is called 8 Common Causes of Low Self-Esteem and Taking Charge of Your Own Worth. When I think of my first book that I wrote, The Little Girl Inside, Owning My Own Pain, owning my role, in my own pain, I was highly embarrassed because I couldn't believe, I thought I was a smart woman, and how could I be bamboozled? I thought I was smart enough to know when somebody's playing you or lying to you or just saying negative things or things that it doesn't take a lot to know that that person doesn't mean you well. I thought I had it. I thought I knew, and I didn't. So for a long time, I said, maybe I'm not that smart. Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I need help. Maybe I'm not going to ever get it right. Maybe I'm not too smart. I kept saying that more than anything because I couldn't believe what happened to me happened to me. And we have a tendency when we fail at something, we take it to heart that our life is over or we're ruined, and we're not. Part of life is ups and downs. Downs prepare us for the ups. And we should not think of them as the end of the world when they happen. But many of us do. And when they do, we stay there. And when we stay there, that's when the low self-esteem just builds upon us. It just becomes insurmountable. It's just a big piece of weight in our soul. And we start saying negative things about ourselves. We're not that smart. We're unattractive. We're too big. We don't have any friends. We did something bad as far as going to jail, and now we feel even worse about ourselves. Got caught up in drug abuse, so now I'm a druggie. Even though you haven't had drugs in 10 years, you still have that mindset that you're a druggie, and you're not. You made some mistakes, but you have in your mindset that that's who you are, and you can't let go of it. And then you have people and then those that are suicidal or who has who has tried to commit suicide wasn't able to do that, and then they really think they're a failure because that didn't even work. And you're not a failure. You're not ready to die. It's not your turn. It's not your time. Your day is around the corner, but you got to be ready for that day. And we can't give up. I've given up before. And when I saw my kids, that ignited me again. And I said, I can't give up. I got to hang in there because my kids, who's going to take care of my kids if I give up? So you got to have a purpose. You got to find a purpose, but you can't give up on yourself. You can't look at another person and say, oh, I'm not like her, so I'm terrible. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. As I said at my church this last weekend, it was so awesome. I got to speak to women at the empowerment conference, and I shared with them, God has blessed each one of us with our own DNA. You have something I don't have, and I have something you don't have, but He's supplied each one of us with a special gift. And if we don't know what that gift is, we need to spend some time with ourselves to learn what that gift is, and never give up on what God has blessed you with, because you got something in you. You got something there, but you won't ever find it if you don't ask God to show it to you. And you can easily find it if you think about what your strengths are. That's a clue right there. If you have strengths in an area of painting, and you do a great job at painting and everybody marvels over your paintings, that's your strength. If you can type papers up quickly and edit them for people, and you love words, that's your strength. If you can sing a tune and everybody stops and listens to you, that's your strength. If you can dance all night and don't fall out and you got rhythm galore, that's your strength. If you can predict what's going on in your friends and your family's lives, that's your strength. That's your strength. So don't look at that other person and say, oh, she's got this and I don't have anything, because you do have something. You just may not know what it is. And we have to encourage our young people, ladies and gentlemen, to figure out what those gifts are, because our young people are hurting. I saw that at my event this weekend. They're hurting because we don't talk to them. We don't acknowledge them. We're uncomfortable around them. They're feisty. They think they got it going on. They act like they don't need us. So we just go, okay, you got this. Go on with your bad self. But really, they don't have it. And they need us somehow. I just can't figure out today how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it because they do need us. Hey, Allison, Reverend Allison, Minister Allison, you have to find purpose and don't give up on yourself. Absolutely. And never give up on what God has for you. Ask God to show you. Yes, because He's gifted us. And every one of us has a specific gift. And a lot of times we don't know what it is, But because you know why we don't know what it is? Because we're so busy. We're so busy pleasing everybody. We're so busy trying to make everybody else comfortable. We're so busy loving on everyone else that we forget the most important person in that equation is you. Because how can you take care of everybody if you're all broken up, low self-esteem, hurting? How can you take care of everybody else if you have not even factored in taking care of yourself? So we do have to work on us, and we have to try to figure out what is important. We have to figure out where we're going to go. And we can't just be living day in and day out with no purpose. That'll give you some low self-esteem. If you go to work, come home, and do nothing else day in and day out, you have no purpose. You got to find something that you like so that you can start doing that. And a lot of you may be saying, I don't have the energy. When I get off from work, I just want to sit home, watch TV. That's not the way you're supposed to be living your life. TV has just consumed so much of us. My kids told me to watch All American. It was on Netflix. I binge watched it. I was so mad at my kids. It's an awesome show, but I don't have time to be watching TV. And I sat there and watched it. All those things I had to do. We can't do that. We're wasting our life away. I have a pastor at my church who had to do officiate the funeralize. I guess that's what you say, Minister Daniels, funeralize a 42-year-old man. And prior to that, his sibling, which was 50 something. Two people, same family, just like that. Then another family, a 42, 43-year-old person died in his sleep. We don't have time. We got to find our purpose. If we found our purpose, we wouldn't be having time for low self-esteem, because our low self-esteem will be getting repaired. Because we've all been there. When somebody leaves you, a human being says, I'm done with you. I can only imagine how somebody would feel behind somebody saying, I'm out and never coming back. It will make you feel lonely. It'll make you feel abandoned. It'll make you feel neglected. It'll make you feel like you're nobody wants you. You'll be unworthy. It'll make you feel depressed. It'll make you feel unattractive. All of that. And then when you're at home watching TV, that only reminds you of what you and that person did. And you're just sitting there getting worse. And that's when depression really hits in. And when that sinks in, it gets worse. And then you really feel bad about yourself. You feel worthless. You feel like nobody will ever want you again. You feel like there's no way out, and you stay there. And you never get out of that. And that's no place to stay. We all are going to go through ups and downs in life. That is part of life. Everything is not. Who told you life is smooth sailing? You might see somebody who appears to have it all together, but I guarantee you they have not had it all together. They've had ups and downs. They may not share it. They may have the downs discreetly, but they have ups and downs. And that's why it's so important that we do not try to compete with other people. You can't win that way. You can't look at your neighbor and say, oh, she has a new car. Why can't I get a new car? You get a new car in the right timing. You will get what you want in due time, provided you put the work in. And that's another thing. I have a relative who loves to talk about what everybody owes her. And it breaks my heart because the rest of us had to really work for every little thing that we have, every little thing that we have. And I just can't fathom somebody sitting and expecting, but people do it all the time. And that's what we have to be careful of when we're raising our young children, about showering them with so many gifts that we forget to teach them responsibility and accountability. And when we do that, and mind you, this relative was given a lot. And as she became an adult, hey, where are my gifts at? What's wrong with y'all? I'm still waiting on some gifts. They're in their 50s now, and they're still waiting for handouts. And if we continue to do that with our young children who are now in their late teens, they're going to be with us forever, because they're going to be expecting those handouts. They're going to be expecting you to continue doing what you've been doing over and over again. They don't understand the cutoff at 18 or 21. They expect you to continue doing so. And there are a lot of people in their 40s and 50s still expecting someone to do for them. And yes, we have minor setbacks. We fall. Some of us had a good job, and then overnight, we don't have that job anymore. And it's a struggle. But we got to get past that struggle. We got to know that sometimes when a door closes, you better bet it's for something better for you, but you got to have that right mindset. You got to be ready for that blessing. Just because a door closes on you doesn't mean you have failed. A lot of times God closes that door the way that he closed that door because he's tired of waiting on you to make the decisions that he's already instilled into you. You just won't listen. And you're so busy moving around that you won't sit still enough to hear his voice. Many times you could be on a job and all hell break loose. They're coming at you every which way, and you're like, where did this come from? Is the reason for that? It's time to move on. It's time to get another job. And if the door closes on you and it slams shut, that means you were supposed to get another job a while back, but you got complacent. And that's okay. We all get comfortable in our jobs. And we know we should be doing something else, but we say, no, not this week. No, not this year. I'll do it next year. And we know we're supposed to be doing something else. We got to be still enough to hear that voice say, jump, do it. This is the time. Go at it. And we got to stop saying, no, this ain't God. I don't know who this is. Get away from me. I got a plan. I know what I'm going to do. We got to stop thinking we got control, because God controls everything. And if we sit back and just be still for a minute to hear his voice, he will guide us. This year, 2019, has been my best year probably in my whole life, because I've surrendered. I said, I am not going to be, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I was almost asleep 30 minutes ago. And I said, no, I got to get up. I got to be consistent. I got to do my lives. I got to deliver. And here I am. I just said I got to do it. And now I got more energy. As soon as I hit the button, I got energy. And that's how life works. When you have God in your life, He will supply you with just what you need to get what you need. But many of us want to do it on our own. Many of us are too embarrassed to even realize they do need God. Many of us don't want anybody to know that they even know God. How shameful. And many of us don't know God. And I pity that person, because with God, all things are possible. And like I said, I wouldn't be standing here. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't know God, because He's pretty much really saved my life. And our self-esteem issues come in when we've been hurt and we stay in that pain. And it could be a verbal hurt where somebody just said, you're going to be a dumb A, B for the rest of your life. Can you imagine those words? Hearing them at 12 or 13, and you grow up and that's all you remember. Even when you have a good day, that thought comes back into your mind. So we have to transition our thought process every time we hear those negative words in our heads. And everybody has heard them some way or another, whether it be an ex-spouse, a current spouse, an old boyfriend, new girlfriend, old girlfriend, teacher. It's happened. And we got to do something, build a mechanism to immediately remove those negative thoughts as they come into our thought process, because they do. That's the adversary trying to get you off course. He doesn't want you to do well. He doesn't want you to be happy. He doesn't want you to be successful. He's here to kill, steal, and destroy. And why not use you? Why not use me? And that's why we have to be prayed up. We have to trust God to be there for us, to help us. So my concern tonight is those who are struggling with low self-esteem, and then they have the nerve to want to be in a relationship. They're broken. I have met through these last 2 years doing these lives, and I'm still Rose, more men broken than more women. And it breaks my heart because we look up to our men. They don't know that we do, but we do. And they're more broken than we are. And sadly, a lot of women have broken them. Even their moms have broken them. So we got some mending to do. But it starts with us. We can't do this anymore. His fault, her fault. She did it to me. She did it to. We have to start forgiving folks, and we got to do it very quickly, because we're wasting away our lives. Because I don't know who told you you're guaranteed to be here 100 years. When every time I turn around, somebody 40 something years old has died. So as I'm being 57, I'm like, oh my God, I really have to get it right, because if they're dying at 42 and I've surpassed those years, when is my day? So do I want to spend it happy, or do I want to spend it sad? Do I want to spend it better, or do I want to spend it mundane, the same, nothing's changed. And I've decided I want to spend it better. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to live better. I want you to be better. I will sacrifice my time for you to be better. We got to do better if we want better. We can't expect her or him to treat us better if we don't treat ourselves better. If we don't fix that self-esteem issue, no matter who has hurt us, no matter how they left out of that door, we got to get over it. Let them go. Say, boy, bye. Girl, bye. See ya. They weren't for you anyway. If they left you under bad circumstances, unforgivable circumstances, they were not for you in the first place. And I don't know why it's so hard to own that. And especially when you know you've done everything in your power to make the relationship work. What else could you have done if you've done everything? What else could you have done? So focus on you. Focus on what you can do to make your life better. Whether it be go see a counselor, read some positive books. I can't think of the name of Tyler Perry's. Let me see if I can find it right quick. I just read Tyler, and I don't know how I found the time, but isn't it amazing when you do God's work of yourself for you? I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm not talking about the church folks. I'm talking about when you do God's work to take care of his temple, us, ourselves. He gives you strength that you wouldn't have had if you didn't lean on him in the first place. I've been exhausted since my event, September 21st, 2019. I had another event with a dating coach in Delaware. I had another event just this weekend. I got another event tomorrow for the whole weekend. I have Tanya Barbie has no energy. I'm done. I want to fall asleep. I want to cuddle up on the water somewhere and just with some candles and be gone with some soft music. Okay, I could go on, but I could do this, but I can't do that right now. I don't have Tanya Barbie does not have the strength, but God has supplied me with the strength to do what I need to do. And as a result of that, I feel so much better. I have strength, but it's not my strength. If y'all understand what I'm saying, please read. My kids don't know. They ain't getting a whole lot of stuff from me this year because I want them to start working with their soul and their mind and their spirit. So guess what I'm going to get them? I'm going to get them a Bible first, a living Bible so that they can read it like storytelling. And I'm going to get them Higher is Healed. Higher is Waiting. That's from Tyler Perry. It's a 4-hour and 39-minute book if you get it on Audible. And I was so exhausted, I couldn't read it. I bought it too to read, but I'm going to use it for my reference. But I read it. I read it on the Audible twice. The book is awesome because he talks about being raised by a dad who was abusive and how he had to do things and tie himself spiritually to nature to see how God operates in order to get rid of that pain of the fact that his dad beat him terribly growing up. So we have to do what we can to get rid of, dispel all the negativity that's happened to us in our childhood. We got to get rid of it. We can't hold it in our relationships as an adult, because all it does is fester. And then those that we love, we start hurting. And then when we start hurting them, it doesn't stop there. They have kids, and then they start doing it to their kids. And it's a generational curse, because we're not fixing our problems. We're only making them worse. And it's a vicious cycle across the board. And our lowest self-esteem now festers to our children, and then their children, and then their children. And it is just a big mess. And all we had to do is one person in each family break the cycle and make a difference. We need to be that person that breaks the cycle and make a difference. It's got to be us. Hey there, I got Lorenzo on the line. Hello, I got Drew. Hey, Drew. I got Mantha. I can't see everybody else, but I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for joining. We got to do better. Low self-esteem, my cousin says, my cousin's also a pastor. She says, we are made in the image of God. Do you think God had low self-esteem? That's a good point, cousin. We are made from God. He didn't make any mess. So why do we get caught up in the little things that have happened to us? Or forgive me. Many of us have had devastating things happen to us, but we have to get past them in order to be that best person that God has intended us to be. Because if we stay in that pain, in that agony, day in and day out, we will never be able to live our best lives. We're just here. To me, you're just taking up space, because you're not doing everything you can to be that best self. And that's what we all should be striving to be. Those of us who are struggling on our jobs, with our money. Do you know there's so many self-help books? Churches even have classes on taking care of your money. Crown Financial. I took the class at my church. They're like 200 and something verses on money in the Bible. So God wants us to have money. He wants us to be able to take care of ourselves. We got to do better. Health-wise, we complain about our knees, but yet women, we're gaining 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds more, and your knees are crying. Help me, help me. We got to watch what we eat. We got to exercise whether we want to or not. Tyler Perry says in his book, and I've said on previous lives, go out here, talk to God, look at these trees, and you will be fascinated. When you look at the foliage now, how the colors all come together. You got green, you got orange, you got brown. It is and then you got the sun too. Then you got the lakes, the water. We are just so blessed. And we got to stop focusing. I got family members, y'all. When I call, it's, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm so tired. I'm so sick. Oh, they get on my nerves. Po me. I cringe when I hear that. Sometimes I cry. Po me. What are you speaking in the universe? What we speak, we get back. Instead of saying, po me, Say, thank you, Father, for all my blessings. But when we say, po me is who you gonna be. We can't do that. Oh, I'm so sick. Yeah, you spoke it. Oh, I'm sicker today than I was yesterday. Oh, he left me. He called me all these names. He said, I will never be back. He left me for her. I can't believe that after all these years. Po me. I'll never be able to pick up the pieces. My life is doomed. Yes, because you spoke it. We have to stop speaking pain and speak light and be the light. The more we speak it, I have deliberately stopped saying, I got a migraine. I say I'm not feeling good, but I'm working on it. My migraines are subsiding gradually. I was speaking them. Po me. I won't say that, but I got relatives. Po me. You gonna be po if you keep saying you po. We gotta speak what we want. We gotta speak life into our spirit, until our bodies, until our whatever we want. We gotta speak it. My cousin says devastating things happen. That doesn't mean they happen to us. Separate the two and move on. Most mess didn't have crap to do with you. Yes. Some crap ain't. I dated somebody who was so somber. He missed his mom. I understand. But he couldn't live. Every day he was somber. And I'm a cheerleader. What we gonna do today? How you doing? He come to the door and I'm I'm dancing, trying to put life in him. That ain't my job. That's his job. He got to put life back in his own life. I can only encourage you. You got to stand before that mirror. You got to make a decision that I want my life to be the best that it can be. I want to be stronger. I want to be sharper. I want to be better on my job. I want to look better. I want to think better. I want to be all that I can be. Why can't we all make a vow that that's what we're going to try to do? Hey, I got another minister on the call tonight. Hey, Mel. In my experience with past hurts, pains, disappointments, was a relationship with God, knowing how much he loves and forgives me of my sins, how Jesus died for my issues, truly delivered me from the past pain. I use this situation to minister to others. Yes, and you're doing a great job. I don't know what I'm doing without you, because I miss you ministering to me on the job, sister girl. So I'm glad you're on tonight. And yes, that's what our job is. Who told y'all you didn't go through pain? Hey, Lorenzo. Hey, Javon. Who told you you didn't go through something to keep it to yourself? We go through stuff to help others go through their stuff. That's the job. That's the mission. We're not supposed to be, don't be ashamed about it, because that takes courage to say, I jacked up, I messed up. As Minister Taylor said, I messed up, but I got healing. I got delivered. God forgave me. And now I'm helping others. That's our job. To do what she just said. We are supposed to help others through our pain. So don't stay in your pain. You got to get out of it so you can help somebody else. I remember an aunt telling me, I said, "Oh, I want to be a drug abuse counselor." And she said, "When were you on drugs, baby?" I said, "Well, I wasn't on drugs. I just want to be an encourager and help them get off the drugs and stay off the drugs. And I think I'll be real good." She said, "Baby, you got to have been there in order to help them. You can go with me, but you ain't been on no drugs, so you can't help them in that retrospect." Those are her exact words. And I tell you one thing, I may not have been on some drugs and can't be a drug counselor, but I can tell you about some pain and I can see it in a woman's eyes. God has blessed me with a discernment to see pain in a person's eyes. And he's also blessed me to know when somebody's sincere and when they're not. And that's why I like my alone time, because he has shown me so much about people till it's scary now, because I can be talking to a girlfriend and I can feel what she's saying on the inside. And I know that's some spooky stuff, ain't it? And it's Halloween night too. But I'm sorry, y'all. I got the gift now. And it ain't no joke, because I can feel what she's saying and I'm talking to her and I want to say, "I heard what you said and I don't like it." Or, "Why are you uncomfortable around me? And why are you feeling that way about me?" That's what I want to say, but I keep talking to her and never saying what I want to say, because she's not supposed to know what I know about her. So that's some freaky stuff. I didn't ask for that. But I did say, "God, I don't want to be gullible anymore. Teach me about people," because I was very kind. I was very open. I had the appearance of being gullible. So I just prayed, "God, I don't want to be gullible anymore. Give me what I need so I can see them when they coming." And oh my God, he gave it to me. So my point exactly about asking. Ask. My cousin said, "Me too." That means we got it. Ask. Ask what you want. But at the same time, you got to do acts. You got to do some action. You got to get up. If you want that change, be that change. You got to have faith. Just make that first move. Be the rose, not the thorn. That was my first event. Always a vision. Y'all, it was the scariest thing I ever seen in my life, because everything came to fruition. And I now understand how God works. It's not going to always turn out that way. Tyler Perry says in his book that he had many plays where only 30 people showed up. It was 7 years later when the line went around the building to go to his play. 7 years later. And of course, the rest is history. He just bought a billion dollar studio, right? But he started from a very humble beginning, homeless, being beat by his father, and having some hard times, dead end jobs. And look about this dead end job thing. These dead end jobs, when you hear his story, those dead end jobs prepared him to be frugal with his money. So as you go through heartaches, hardships, don't think, "Woe is me. Oh, my life is over. Oh, I'm just a mess." I remember when my husband of 10 years and I were losing our beautiful home, breaking up, and I couldn't believe it. House built from the ground up. It was just beautiful. And as I'm sitting there closing the door, moving all my things out to move to a townhome, a rented townhome at that, I didn't look back at the house, but I closed the door and I locked it. And I said to God, I said, wonder what you have for me next. And I thank you for the time you gave me in this beautiful home. And I didn't look back. So my point in that is you win some, you lose some. Everything is not going to be pretty. There's going to be some ugly situations. And I sincerely feel, and I'm so glad I read his book, Tyler Perry's new book, Higher is Waiting, because he validated, he confirmed what's in my heart. Don't feel shameful that you've gone through some crap. Don't feel shameful that you're alone. Don't feel shameful that you got fired off the job. Don't feel shameful that he left or she left. Look at the fact that you're still there. You're still standing. You still have a heart beating. That's because he ain't done with you. And in Tyler Perry's case, he went from sleeping in his car to buying a mansion, living good, still frugal in his business, sis, because of his upbringing, which prepared him for what he has today because of his humble beginnings. So think of it that way. I fail and I fail hard. Wonder what God has in store for me next and ask him while you're down there on the floor. Don't be, woe is me. I can't believe this happened to me. My life is over. No, it's not. It's possibly just beginning. Joel Osteen talked about this man whose wife left him, and he was devastated. He couldn't believe it after 20 something years of marriage. He was just so distraught. A few years later, he got himself together. He started praying again. He got his body together. He got his mind together. He got his soul together. Next thing you know, he met a beautiful woman, and he can't understand how in the world he topped what he had in the first place. And now he's the happiest man on earth. See, that other lady moved out of the way for this lady. We can't hold on to people who don't want to hold on to us. Let them go. And I know that sounds really flippant, but I don't mean to, because I know we fall in love. We enjoy them. We have gotten to grow close with them. We love them dearly. But if they decide, I don't want to be with you anymore, what gives you the right to be running behind them, being depressed behind them, or wanting to die because they left? Doesn't make sense. That's some low self-esteem stuff to me, because we got to value ourselves. And if somebody leaves us, we can't fall apart. We got to do some self-checking. Okay, they left. What did I do to make them leave? What did they do? What could I have done better? What did I not do? Fix it. Fix you. Apologize to them. Forgive them. Don't take them back, and move on. And you'll find your dream person if you just do that. Work on you. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. We have to be happy with who we are. My cousin says, Book of Job, Job lost everything. And as long as he was complaining, he wasn't restored. When he quit, woe is me, he got even better. You hear that? That's biblical. Job was complaining. Nothing got restored. But when he quit being in shock, his wife telling him, you need to just curse God and die. When all that went away, God gave him beauty for his ashes. I thought after my last divorce, I was going to lose it because my baby boy was hurting. I don't mess with my kids. Oh Lord, you can do some things to me and I'll mend, but don't bother my kids. And I hurt because he hurt. But Lord, have mercy, has God given me beauty for my ashes. That young man is a king already, and he's 14. He knows God. He keeps me grounded. He gives me good advice. He's got an old soul. It was like, thank you. His dad didn't work out, but I was left with a beautiful, beautiful gift. My little bitty king, my king, my junior king. And we have to work hard at being who we know we're supposed to be. If you're uncomfortable in your own skin and you're like fidgety, and it's because you should be. It's because God is nudging you to say, hey, I'm trying to speak to you. Will you please rise? Will you rise? Will you give me more of you? I'm ready to do more for you, but I need you to do something first. I need you to rise. I can't give it to you sitting down on the couch watching TV all day with a bag of chips and my pastor say with some ice cream. You got to rise to the occasion. Be ready for it. Be prepared for those gifts. He's going to give you beauty for those ashes. Let them go. Bye. Bye. Don't want to see you no more. I'm good. I forgive you. I'm sorry I hurt you. It's over. I'm going to move on. You moving on. Let's do this. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We got to pick ourselves up from the ground, from the pieces, put ourselves back together again. This time, we're going to be better than we ever were. I can hug my exes at my little children's functions and be just like, hello, how y'all doing? And I'm single. And I walk in like I got an arm piece or somebody in love with me because I'm in love with me. I don't need that. It's going to be a blessing when I receive that. But at this time in my life, I am good with me. And it's only going to get better because I'm putting the work in. I'm not sitting here just talking to you guys. If I'm not here, I'm at my job. If I'm not at my job, I'm doing some things for my kids. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing things for my grandkids. I just left Baltimore for a volleyball game for my granddaughter, all the way to Baltimore, came back home, wanted to fall asleep. And I said, no, I got this live to do. Now, when I'm too busy, too sleepy to read, I will do an audible and hear a book that I want to hear, but it's something that's going to help me. I ain't got time for no novels right now. I need help to grow, to build, to strengthen. I'll read the Bible in the morning. I'll read it in the evening. Proverbs is awesome because it gives you wisdom. It just teaches you life. It just teaches you. And we can't give up on learning. We can't give up on learning. We gotta learn things about ourselves. And we gotta grow. We gotta stop being hurt. We gotta stop speaking negativity. Speak positivity. You want positive things, you gotta speak positive things. Please don't say, girl, I'm so broke. Girl, I'm so tired living paycheck to paycheck. Girl, I ain't got no money for gas. Girl, ain't nothing in the refrigerator. Girl, I'm famished. Girl, I just look so bad. Girl, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Girl, I'm a mess. We got to stop that. Oh, that's so not true. And if we speak it, the devil just giving us more of it. Here you go. You poor. I'm going to really show you some poor now. No, you're not poor. The riches are waiting for you. You got to tap into what your gifts are. I got a cousin making popcorn and selling it, all flavors, Monica Barbie. Me, I'm speaking now and getting paid for it. Woohoo! And writing books, not just my day job. And gonna start coaching women because I am not gonna let you fail. Not on my watch, not on my dime. It's not gonna happen. We got to pull together and we got to grow and we got to know what we need to do so that we can stand tall and be that person that's going to come correct, be delivered, and be our best. We don't care. Okay, you left. I'm so sorry you left. But obviously, it was supposed to happen because it happened. Nobody yanked them out of the house. They left on their own accord. You didn't necessarily run them out. They're done with you. They found something else. They may have thought they found something better. And then while you're in the process of getting yourself to back together, they're going to come knocking on your door. Will you take them back? So when you fall again, they leave again? Or do you continue to grow to get that person who will be with you through thick and thin for the rest of your life? These are choices that you will be able to make in a better frame of mind when you get all this right. When you get your mind, your soul, your spirit right, you'll be able to make them decisions just like that. Check, 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 check. Lorenzo said no. Absolutely. You're going to get bigger and better. You don't have time for that anymore. If somebody abandons you, where's the love in that? See, we're so busy thinking, oh, I love you. Oh, doesn't it sound good? Don't y'all want to call me after I said that? Doesn't it sound so sensuous? I love you. We've practiced saying that since we were what, 16, 15, some of us much younger. It sounds good. Do you know there are narcissists that can say that even better than I just said it? It sounds a whole lot better than how I just said it. Do you want to fall in love with a narcissist? They will turn your life upside down. You will wish you were dead dealing with a narcissist, and don't have low self-esteem while you're dealing with a narcissist. They will blow your mind figuratively and literally. literally. You do not want to not be right within yourself, because if you're right within yourself, you will see them coming. But if you're not right within yourself, you will not see them coming, and they are dangerous. They are dangerous. So I thank you for joining me. This has been awesome. We're not going to have any low self-esteem. We're going to work on us. We're going to fix us. And if any of y'all got, I think that man's book was $21 at the most. Or if you got Audible, it might be cheaper. If you have your plan and you got a whole bunch of books, you might have some credits. But his book, Higher is Waiting, is amazing. It's one of the best books I've ever read in my life. Now, I got a good book too. I'm Still a Rose. I got to put my bid in too, because it talks about my pain and the fact that I owned up to my pain. I didn't sit in that book and say, he did it, and he did this, and he did that to me. I said what I did. And I said, I forgave them all. And I stood. I rose. I said, I got to do better. I got to select better. I got to be better. I got to think better. I got to act better. I got to live better. I got to look better. I got to do all of those things better, because we are God's creatures. We are supposed to be our best. And if we're not, it's because of us. He gave us the freedom, the will to do right or do wrong. We got a choice. It's up to us. And I choose to do better. I choose to live better. I choose to be a better person. And that is not an easy task, because there's sometimes I'm done. I want to get off of this ship. But then when I get my one foot out, I say, no, I like this ride. I'm going to stay on. I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to do my part. And when we stand and do our part, God does the rest. So if you get some free time, please read Higher is Waiting. And you got to get free time, because you got to take some time back for you. Many of you working in the churches all day. Now, I'm not talking to the pastors. These pastors, my cousin got her own church. She got to work. She got to be doing all that. But I'm talking about those who are just busybodies. Oh, I got to go to church Monday night. I got to go Tuesday night. Got to go Wednesday night. Got to go Thursday night. Got to go Friday night. Blah, 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 blah. There's no time for you. Make some time for you and get this book. Read it, or better yet, Audible, because the man who's reading the book, he can talk you to sleep. But what he's saying resonates. And one day I'll do a review on the book, because it's that good. And he's changed my life. He don't even know it, because he's taken where I am to a whole nother level just from reading the book. And y'all, I read it twice, because I got it playing in my car, and I got it playing when I go to bed. So my cousin says, God is always up to something new. Trust it. I love you too, Lorenzo. Thank you. And cousin says, that's right. Make time to be well. We have to make time to be well. Y'all heard my cousin? Make time to be well. You come first. You can't even do the work in the church if you all broke down and tired and looking crazy because you haven't had any sleep. You haven't done the other things that you know you need to do. You just trying to do this, trying to do that. Do some work in you so that you can be healed and ready to meet your mate or to be better with your mate that you have. You got to put the work in. We got to be better than we are. And no more low self-esteem. Read some books to get you out of that mindset. No more negativity talk. Always talk positive about yourself. Always. Okay, we done this. It's an hour. I love you. Thank you so much. This is Tanya Barbie. I am still a rose in spite of it all, and so are you. Make sure you look at the website, tanyabarbie.com. I got some nice products there, inspirational shirts and product, other types of products, even down to a canvas. I'm still a rose. So we got a lot of things coming. I'm really excited about it. Hit me up if you need me to come speak at your church or anything like that, or club, girls club, men's club. I got a book coming out for men. So any hurting men that want to share their story, please message me, because I am doing a book on men and their pain. And we're going to take it on the road, do panel discussions, because women need to know they ain't the only ones hurting. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please share if you know somebody who's struggling with some low self-esteem issues. Lorenzo, you are awesome. Thank you all so much for joining. Cousin, I love you. I'll see you all next time. Good night.